one of the things that had held thin clients back for years was that the way they work is that there's a data center, and in the data center you might have Citrix, you might have VMware, you might have Microsoft Terminal Services software, and then that data center would connect to the thin client device using a protocol. Now, for the longest time, those protocols really didn't support the sorts of things that we take for granted today with our PCs. Rich USB peripheral support, multi-display, rich multimedia. And so our industry over the last couple of years has made huge strides in now delivering that kind of capability. In fact, Wyse has specific virtualization software that we provide in addition to the hardware devices that now make multiple displays work as they would work on your PC, that allow you to connect USB peripherals, everything from scanners and printers and USB sticks to more advanced things like webcams and USB audio devices. We also provide full multimedia acceleration so that you can do full screen, full frame rate video, which had never been possible before. And even in our high-end devices, you can now do high-definition video on these thin clients. And that's a very, very new capability that just has been around for about a year. We've even added functionality to improve the way sound is executed. So we're just about at that point where using a thin client gives you that same experience, and in some cases a better experience than a local personal computer, all while delivering much, much better energy savings, much, much better manageability, and much, much better data control for the IT department. With cloud computing as an opportunity on the horizon, what's the best device to access a cloud? Well, the simplest, easiest, the type of device that simply doesn't fail. And a thin client is the embodiment of that type of device. Now that you can get them in stationary modes like the one here next to me, as well as completely mobile devices that can be little 12-inch screens or be bigger 15-inch screens, it's now a model that is completely portable, completely flexible, and it takes all of those things that we've always been offering: high reliability, easy management, fast deployment, dramatically lower costs, and better security, and makes it much more mainstream. And so with cloud computing, client virtualization on the rise, and people concerned about their energy footprint with green IT, this is really a model whose time has come. So we now build thin client devices that look just like netbooks or notebook computers that take all of that security, safety, and reliability that a thin client delivers and delivers it in a mobile format. It's such a great idea because you can take it home, work with it. The kids won't try to install games on it. If you were to be driving in a taxi somewhere and you accidentally left the device in a taxi, since it has none of your personal data on it, it only accesses your data in the cloud, you wouldn't be losing any of your data, nor would any of your data be exposed. So it's a really secure way to, as a campus mobile worker, to get access to a virtual desktop environment. The three biggest benefits of using a thin computing architecture, and when we say that, we say that's using a thin, simple device like a thin client to a data center model like Citrix, VMware, or Microsoft. The three biggest benefits are, first off, dramatically better security. Data never goes out to that thin client. It's always stored centrally, so it's easier to back up, easier to maintain, easier to protect. The thin client devices are also very secure because their operating systems are so simple that they're immune to viruses and malware. So security is probably the biggest one. The second element is cost savings. Companies find, especially those that have been working with us for over a year, have found that their cost to maintain an IT budget as they moved from PCs to thin clients dropped by about 50%. That's a huge savings, and in this economy, that's what companies really need. The third benefit is really about the simplicity in managing and the reduction in energy. These thin client devices use 90% less energy than the PCs they replace, and that includes the data center infrastructure that has to be put in place. Wyse has long been the leader in building the hardware devices and the management software that makes thin computing work with these mixed backends from Citrix, VMware, and Microsoft. What we're doing today is working harder than ever on taking the user experience and bringing it up to that level where it's as good as a PC and in some cases better. We're about to make some announcements around making it possible to deploy thin clients in more efficient ways and more aggressive global ways than ever before. Companies today have a difficulty in having, let's say, a data center in Toronto, but users in Bangalore, India. And that's simply because of the length of the network and the latency that comes into it. Right now, we're about to introduce software that will make it possible to have your data center here in Toronto and have users in China, in Bangalore, in Australia, without having to have any local server infrastructure in those locations, just the thin client connected to the network. And this technology is going to make it possible for companies to dramatically remap the way that they think about their data centers. And with one large bank that we're working with, who has global operations, is going to use this technology to enable them to shut down 30% of their data centers. Now, the big benefit here is what they've told us: every data center they shut down saves them $1 billion a year.